So, Kateline, a little business up top. After the huge hit of last week's episode, I'm getting a lot of feelers about maybe an Exhibit A reboot.
Really?
So I'm wondering if you have like contact info for Graham Greene. I'm sure we can get him back. I'm thinking... What's up, Kate? What's up? Your face is telling me something here. What's going on?
You know very well that we found out the week after we recorded Exhibit A, Graham Greene passed.
R.I.P. freaking Graham Greene.
Wait a minute, I thought that was impossible.
It was wild. It was 2 days after the episode dropped. I'm getting emails about Graham Greene. Too young, too. 73.
Yeah.
That's too young.
That's Jillionaire's age.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they said that he had a long illness. But I don't know. I hadn't thought of Graham Greene in forever. And then all of a sudden, here he is, fresh on the grapes. And it's like, ooh, bummer. Look, shout out to Graham Greene. We love him. And people know that, too. It's not like we just did it because this dude died. We straight up picked Exhibit A because it was Exhibit A and stuff.
You did.
Right. Well, you agree with it, Kate. I mean, unless you'd like to send the message that you do not like Graham Greene.
No.
You could send that one now, too.
No, he's great.
All right. Well, hit the theme. Attention shoppers, we've got to clean up on Aisle H.
What the other wolves think?
A true crime cleanup on Aisle H.
Diabolical.
Starting now.
No, he's telling you that she's bats.
We're here. We're on week 2 of the brand new true crime cleanup on Aisle H. The last ep was a huge hit. I think I'm feeling good about the premiere here, Kate. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I felt good last week, too.
Now, here's something crazy. This is our second episode now of the new prem. It's also our second Canadian-produced true crime show. Did you notice that?
No.
This was a Discovery ID Canadian production. Yeah, and the show we're talking about this week is called Forensic Factor, A New Era.
Every crime scene tells a story.
And adding that A New Era part is very, very important. Kateline, what's your history with Forensic Factor, A New Era? Tell us all about it.
Well, I have no history. When you told me you wanted to do this episode, I said great, but I hadn't seen any of them. So then I just started watching from the first episode, and it is leaps and bounds better than the regular Forensic Factor.
Okay, now, so I found this on the cock, and I'm going, A New Era? I'm not familiar with the original era. So naturally, I'm like, I got to find out what's up with this OG one. Now, lucky for us, that's also on the cock. But if you watch, just push play on one episode of the original Forensic Factor, and it will be, I don't care what year that episode was produced, it's 2008, as far as I'm concerned, because they're doing all the guys, it's the VO that you associate with, like we were talking about your boy, Jonathan, like reality shows that were about hairdressers and real estate listings in LA. Like it's real crazy, right?
It's bad.
Doesn't the original one suck ass?
It's so bad.
Horseshoe Bay, an exclusive resort community in the picturesque Texas Hill Country. Life is good here, and nobody enjoys it more than Charlie White.
And this new era is really good. They go into insane detail about forensic investigations. It's fascinating.
I'm keeping an eye out for this too. I don't know if it's going to make it to the list, but another reason why I felt the year when I put on that old one is because they were like, and when he's not catching bad guys, Detective Johnson likes to kick back with his 6-string. Or like some sort of hobby that the cops do to unwind. Like, he's on a softball team or some shit like that. And they don't do that as much anymore, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because guess what I don't want to see?
Yeah, guess what I don't care about? Cops having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, what cops do in their off time. Not interested.
Don't care.
We want on-the-clock stories, my friends. Forensic Factor, A New Era is leaps and bounds better than the original, and I like it a lot. I like the look of it. I like the 3D timeline thing they do. I like that it's in, extra wide. It's I don't know if it's 235 quite, but it's not just your standard widescreen. They're letterboxing top and bottom, because this is serious stuff, Kate.
It's serious. It's cinematic.
This is a great example. So now that you've seen a few of them, Kate, I had episode 3 flagged from when I first watched this. Are you why didn't you pick this one or this one?
Yeah.
Or are you feeling this one?
To be honest, I am wondering why this one.
Great. So the show that Kate actually liked and said is legit. These are texts from Kate. If I pick the wrong app and you think this app sucks, Kate, is that what you're about to tell me with that little grin on your face right now?
I don't think this one sucks. I just am curious why this one out of all the ones.
I picked this one because of how many awesome I mean, it's got FF right there in the title, but we are doing the types of detective work that OK Money just eats up with a spoon and doesn't stop. I'm still eating it up as we speak, Kate.
Well,
I mean, they do some stuff in here that was like, oh, you had like some of the detective work in here. You were like, oh, I bet Kurt's digging this. Kurt's digging this stuff.
well, let's get into it.
Okay, damn.
I did like it. I really like this show, and I'm going to watch all of them.
Sweet. Okay, I've got an IMDb description for you. So we're talking about episode 3 of season 1 of Forensic Factor, A New Era. This is called Suitcase of Secrets. Originally airing December 1st, 2023. A suitcase filled with unidentified human remains unlocks a cold missing persons case. That's fair.
Suitcase, case.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good call. We've seen a handful of cases with bodies in a suitcase, I feel.
Well,
we kind of party with suitcases sometimes, don't we?
it feels like it's a go-to for murderers.
Yeah, not a smart one either. Not a smart one.
No.
Okay, so our story opens up. It is May 9th, 2018, 2 hours north of Seattle. And cops get a call from like a road crew that's doing like cleanup and stuff. And they go, we found a suitcase. It's full of remains. We don't know if it's human or animal, though. So can you send out an expert? Because we're not sure.
That's fair. Someone may have just wanted to get rid of their dog.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could. You're right. Because it's like if it's an animal, it's like this suitcase is going back in the woods.
Yeah.
Right? Like these guys don't give a mm-hmm. It's funny, though, because we talked to one of many experts that we talked to. And this guy, it was like, it was weird that they wanted us to confirm it was animal or human. But then this dude says, as soon as I got there, I could tell from the smell without even seeing it that it was human. So I'm going, hey, guy, sounds like you were the guy to call. Like, looks like you did what you were supposed to do.
Right. Do you want your job, or you don't think your job is necessary?
Yeah, what's up, man?
They needed us to confirm whether it was human or non-human, which is kind of weird, not something that we typically get.
I don't know that I would be able to tell. We saw the pictures of it. It was, I don't even know if I'd be able to tell there were bones at all.
Yeah, you're right. Like, what is it that made them? It's got to be the smell part of it, I think.
I've never smelled human decomp.
No, and the way that people talk about it on these shows,
You never forget.
I know, and there's a part of me that's like, oh, I kind of want to know. But I bet the second I ever find out what a dead body does smell like, I'll be like, Kurt, you idiot. Why did you wish this on yourself?
Kurt, you don't want to know.
Yeah, you didn't want to know, dude. Now it's like stuck in your nostrils forever. Mm-hmm. So they're going, all right, well, this is definitely a body. Meanwhile, in a county nearby, Detective Decker, I believe her name was, hang on, I wrote it down. Yep, Detective Catherine Decker. She hears about a Jane Doe being found, and she goes, I bet I know who that is. I bet that's friggin' Jamie Haggard.
I had contact with the Snohomish County major crime detectives and let them know that I thought that it was likely going to be a missing person that I was working, and that her name was Jamie Haggard.
Rewind 2 years, 2016, and a young mom, very young, like early 20s or something, right? Mm-hmm. Jamie Haggard is reported missing by her family, and that was 2 years ago, so that goes cold. But this detective is pretty positive this is going to be Jamie.
Yeah, and this actually is the end of the investigation, finding this suitcase.
Yeah.
So we back up and we learn all about everything that happened leading up to that.
Yeah, it is cool the way they tell it in this. These were some of the things that made it stand apart from other shows, because there's a way you could tell this in order where it's not as interesting, but the way that they do it, I don't know, I thought it really worked. Because I'm with you where it's like, all right, now we got to rewind. Go back 2 years.
Yes. At first I was nervous about it though, because I wasn't sure if this was a case where they actually were able to solve it within like 48 hours and they just dragged it out to show us everything. But then I realized when we're seeing those interviews, they happened like within 48 hours. But
yeah,
that was before they did all sorts of stuff. So I just was concerned at first, like, oh, they're just gonna be like, yeah, we knew immediately who it was. Case closed.
Yeah, that's true. And this case, so we know already that case goes cold for 2 years. But when you find out all the things we have from the day she goes missing and stuff, it is kind of like, well, why? Mm-hmm. Right? Because we've got some crazy recordings. We've got recordings from Jamie, our victim, the morning that she goes missing, because she was on the phone with her boyfriend, Chris, in prison, and those calls were recorded. Mm-hmm. Am I right?
Yep.
There's some crazy calls that we hear in here.
We learned the morning of June 9th that she was in fact at the house. We knew this because we knew that she was having a phone conversation with her boyfriend who was in jail.
I think the detective did know who did it immediately, but it took 2 years to get all the evidence in order and for this suitcase to be found. And if it hadn't been found, I don't know that they ever would have charged the person.
No, and actually one of the detectives in here actually says that, like, what a mistake it was to do the suitcase thing, because he calls it like a treasure trove of evidence of everything that's in there. Mm-hmm. So now flashback 2 years. Jamie Haggard is missing, and her dad calls in a missing person because he had a really good relationship with his daughter. They'd be talking all the time. He doesn't hear from her for a few days. Now, what's going on here. So they call the cops, and we see, like, the poor dad, not interviewed on this show, but we do see him on the news in 2016 going like, I'm coming for you, girl. I'm never going to stop looking. Mm-hmm. That was sad.
I will find you, Jamie. I love you. Dad is coming, and I'll never stop.
But everybody's looking for Jamie. Where is she? And she lived with her half-brother, David, David's girlfriend, Carly, another roommate named Jason. And this Jason guy I got cues about later, because there's a few, look, they did a great job telling the story in here. There's a few gaps where I want to go like, whoa. But what did that guy have to say about that decision?
I know. I thought the same thing.
Yes. Okay, good. All right. So everybody who lives at the house is willing to come down and talk to cops though, right? And I think they all get strapped up. They're in the chair for a lie detector. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they all got the test, but right?
But yes.
Didn't they all look like they're all lined up?
Yep.
And we hear them all, and they're like, oh, we don't know what happened to her. But Carly's like, well, I left about 9:30 to take my kids to school.
Which I was like, your kids start school pretty late.
I want to know that too, right?
And also, nobody in this story lives with their children.
No. They all have kids.
Because they never mention kids living in this house where the four of them live, but they all have kids.
That's a good point. That is a really good point. Yeah.
Is this the house for the people who lost custody?
Yeah.
Everyone who lost custody is rooming at this house.
This is like a halfway house for... Mm-hmm. Have kids, but don't live with them? You can stay here.
I mean, 9:30 to leave the house, to go get your kids, to take them to school? Why are they starting school so late?
I mean... Maybe that's why they don't live with Carly, huh? If this is when she's getting them to school, maybe Carly's husband was like, The baby daddy said, I'll take care of this. Mm-hmm. School starts at 7, lady. And she's like, not for me. Not in this house. Not in the party house. Like, hey, our days start at the earliest, 9:30 a.m.
I left the house at 9:30ish to take my son to school.
This is what's wild. So we hear a phone call between Jamie and her boyfriend, Chris. And even on the phone, you hear Chris going like, tell David I said hi. Tell David I said hi.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just got home. No, they're sitting on the couch.
Tell your brother I said hi.
Chris says hi. David.
So while all the roommates are getting interviewed, we hear a few common themes, and that's that the last anybody heard from Jamie was at like 9:30ish. And then she was silent for 4 hours. And then at like 1:05 p.m., she fired off this text to a few of us that was very out of character.
It didn't sound like her at all. This text was like, you guys better clean up this house, clean up my house. She called it her house, which I don't think it was. So right there is a red flag.
Yeah, we're not sure whose it is, whose bad this is, right?
And then the way she said it was very demanding in a way that she would never.
Yeah.
She never talked to me like that. We never had a problem. She wouldn't just out of the blue say, I'm going to get a restraining order on you.
So as far as the cops know, in the house where she lived, they're thinking this house is the last place that she was seen alive. So what do? They start digging, huh? They're in the backyard with the backhoe. They
literally
are digging up stuff.
And this was wild because there were a lot of things that they dug up.
Yeah. Burnt looked like snowsuit. Like it was wild, the stuff they found.
Car parts, like a whole axle and wheel.
We dug up all these things, car parts, garbage, burned pants that smelled of diesel.
Yeah, and right now David's looking good because what else do we hear about David, the half-brother? He's a little bit of a firebug.
Yes. In the years since Jamie disappeared, he has been arrested for arson. He's like a known arsonist now.
Yeah, and there's a fire unrelated to the whole Jamie saga. There is a fire that he's in suspicion of at the same time, which will come into play shortly. But so David, he's in the hot seat for 2 cases here, right?
Mm-hmm. He is very known to the police. But
yeah,
we hear from Jamie and David's sister who says what a wonderful person he is and that he couldn't have had anything to do with Jamie's disappearance and that he is so kind and family oriented and would do anything for anybody. And I'm like, well, does she know he's an arsonist?
Yeah, I know. Who knows what you can trust, right? I mean,
yeah.
I guess. So were they like true blue bro and sis?
Unclear.
Or were they also halfies? I'm not sure.
Unclear.
The wheels are turning. They're going back to the suitcase. They want to find out who this body is. And now in order to do that, here's the problem. No hands, no skull.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever did this knew what they were doing, it seems like, right? No hands or skull. Where the hell those things go?
Nothing to identify this person with. No fingerprints, no dental records.
Yeah, and like the only thing they can tell, like one, I know you can guesstimate someone's age. Your skull is in pieces, and the older you get, the more those bones fuse together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way you can tell age. But no skull here, so I couldn't use my trick. But luckily, they had some other experts in there, and you could tell from the pelvis that this is most likely a female between 24 and 44.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think you can tell if there's like room for a birth canal.
I was going to say, is this all related to child rearing hips? Is that what this is all?
I mean, she's given birth.
Yeah, good call. So we know it's a female, but that's it. We're talking a lot about bones, including one in particular that we'll wait to name till we get to my list. Because we talk about a specific bone a whole lot. Kate doesn't know, but when I say it, she's going to go like, oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, we talked to the dude who was like, I don't know why they called me, but I knew right away it was a dead body. So we're talking to him again. They cut into the bone, extract bone marrow in hopes of getting DNA out of there. Because this body is real decomposed in there.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about glop. We're talking about this lady that we're going to talk to soon that I can't wait to talk about. She was saying commingling a lot.
Within a suitcase that had a lot of decomposition fluid commingled with the bones.
It takes a long time for these bone results to roll in. So we're doing other stuff. So while they're waiting for those results, they check back with the contents. We're looking at what's in there. We've got like a burnt red sheet and also a beat to hell cell phone. I mean, did you know it was a cell phone when they showed you the picture?
No,
I sure didn't.
You cannot tell that it's a cell phone. It's cracked, it's burnt. There's only half of it, like the bottom half of it.
Yeah. But they look in there and they also find like a little pendant in there. Like it's all burnt and stuff, but they're like, here's some jewelry. And the detective even says, I reached out to her fam. It was like, does this jewelry look familiar? And everybody's like, nope, never seen it. Then someone goes, hey, you know what? The day before she went missing, friggin' Jamie called in about like a domestic dispute and stuff.
Yeah, she got beat up the day before she went missing. So this is where I was like, wait, so the cops knew immediately who killed her because it would have been whoever beat her up. But no.
Yeah, I mean, easy there, Kate, because that's not true either.
I know. So they have photos that the cops took of her, like, I guess her bruises and her cut marks from the domestic incident.
Yeah.
And in these photos, she's wearing that exact necklace.
Yeah, and the cops are saying, like, they're really patting some backs here, but I'm going to give it to them. They're like, nobody's required to take those pictures. And not only did this cop take these pictures of this person who called in, she took a picture of the bed where it took place. Like,
yeah. And
so now, like, they have these pictures of the day before the murder happening. That's a treasure trove for them, and it's all because like some beat comp was going above and beyond, right?
A woman, I'm sure.
Well, of course, but yeah. So they see in this picture, holy shit, that's Jamie wearing this necklace that we have in the fire.
And what's with her friends and family not recognizing it when she's clearly wearing it?
Yeah.
I would recognize it. It's very distinctive.
Boy, I don't know if I would. Well, you know what? Maybe she had just gotten it, dude. I mean, all we know is that she's worn it for 24 hours. That's all the info we have about this necklace thing.
That's true.
And now this picture of Jason's room. Now, here's the weird thing. Jason is the roommate. Jason's not dating anybody. Jason is just the fourth roommate.
Mm-hmm.
So they took pictures of Jason's room. So Jamie calls in a domestic dispute.
Yes.
And did she tell on Jason or her boyfriend Chris?
No, it's Jason. Because Jason went to jail for it, which is how they knew he couldn't have killed her, because he was in prison when she disappeared.
Right.
In prison for beating her up.
That was actually probably one of the best things that could have happened to Jason, because he was in jail on June 9th.
So she accuses her random roommate of abusing her And it also just so happens that her boyfriend, Chris, another man, is also in prison at this time?
Yes.
That's where the recordings came from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, your brother, say hey. Chris is hi. David.
Okay. See, this is where my confusion was for later when I was like, so did Chris... Who is supposedly doing the beating here?
No, Chris was in prison on something unrelated.
Yeah.
And had been the whole time she was leading up to her disappearance and after.
Yeah, and the cops are like, they're crossing people off the list. Because one, Carly didn't do it. She's going to pick up her kids to bring them to school late. It can't be this guy Jason because dude was in prison.
So that is why the beat cop took pictures of Jason's bed, because that's where it allegedly went down.
Right. And then, so now, 2 years later, when we've got this body in the suitcase, the cops are going, well, wait, red sheets in that picture. Looks like the red sheets that are burned up in this body bag. So they're thinking, okay, this is good. This is now, we just got to confirm that that's the same sheets. And we can say that with all likeliness, the person in this suitcase died at this house.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at this point when everybody's alibied out except for David, this is when the cops and the show say, like, David is looking good for it. So much so that even his girlfriend Carly is telling the cops, yeah, I think David probably killed her.
At this point in time, I think that Dave killed her.
Okay.
And Carly is telling the cops that, like, day one in her interrogation video.
Yeah.
She's like,
yeah.
Meh, I think it was David. Which is crazy because that's her boyfriend.
Yeah.
So she, like, knows that he's capable of murder, but she's still like, that's my boyfriend.
Yeah.
But she never seems scared of him. Carly never seems scared of David. It's like,
I know.
She knew he was capable of hurting Jamie, but not her.
Yeah. And Jamie, we hear, I mean, she's near tears on the phone to her jailed boyfriend morning of, going like, I'm afraid of David. He could kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's talking about how scary her half-brother is.
And that he has threatened her and said all sorts of crazy shit to her.
He got multiple calls from Jamie being scared and terrified.
David came in and choked me. He's on top of me on the bed. He almost killed me.
So it's at this point where they start floating the idea that maybe it sounds like it could have been David that did the abusing the day before. But here's my question. Did David go to Jason and say, listen here, you little bitch, you're going to take the heat from me on this, or else I'm going to kill you? I need to know how this Jason guy was talked into getting this on his record.
Going to jail for domestic violence for something that he probably didn't do. And that he was like, okay. And then didn't tell them later.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. Here's what I can assume based on crime shows I've watched, a lot of SVU and whatnot. Those kind of things follow you everywhere. Like if you got arrested for domestic violence, or if you got like flagged for peeing outside, or you're a pedophile now or whatever. Like, what kind of fear did they install into Jason, or is he just a dum-dum? I've got to know why he was okay with that. I got to know.
Because you're right, it can ruin your life.
Yeah.
Jamie was too afraid to tell the police what had happened, and so she did not tell them that David had assaulted her. Instead, we suspect she went along with her brother's idea to instead accuse Jason.
Yeah, and so now apparently, so this Jason guy, good thing he was a pushover and went to jail, because that ended up being his freaking alibi, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is still, so this is in the 2 years leading up to their finding the body and the thing, and they know it's David for all these great reasons, but they can't arrest him yet because it's too circumstantial. Now this is where it's like, luckily he was wanted for another arson, so they could arrest him. And they arrested him, but then 10 months later he's about to get out on that charge. And that's when the cops are like, we got to find a reason to keep him in prison.
Mm-hmm. It was important to us that David Haggard remain in jail so that he didn't have the opportunity to destroy evidence.
Because he was about to be released in October of 2019. Now, they need more evidence and stuff.
Well, the bone marrow comes back. They were unable to find any DNA in the bone marrow.
Unfortunately, the test yielded no DNA detected at all.
So they sent the bones to the FBI lab because they were more equipped to do some further investigating. They pulverized the bone.
Yeah, this was cool.
And made it into like a powder.
Yeah.
And from that, they were able to extract a DNA profile of a woman. And the detectives put it into CODIS, and it matches with Jamie's mother and sister?
Mother and father.
Mother and father.
So then they ended up doing, I guess, genealogy, something or another, right? If they find it that way.
The DNA profile from the bone did provide an association to both Jamie Haggard's mother and father.
But wait, we got to talk about this bone expert, Kate. Tell me you had thoughts on her. This was the blonde.
She had a very high-pitched voice.
She was, this is not a diss to her either. I'm going to say mousy. I don't mean that as a diss. She was cartoon worthy of a mousy character, where her glasses were at the edge of her nose. She had a really high-pitched voice, and her hands were in between her knees like they were cold, like wrapped up in her sleeves.
I was assigned the case, and the goal was to generate a DNA profile so that we could use databases of missing persons.
Was she not the most mousy person ever for talking about like bone marrow and stuff? Wasn't it crazy?
It was unexpected that she would be the expert on that. Yes. She looked like she was maybe 24 years old.
It reminded me of like when Catwoman, before she becomes Catwoman and stuff. Do you know, like Michelle Pfeiffer, and then all of a sudden she's Michelle Pfeiffer now. Like, that's how crazy it was to be. Anyway, Kate loves it.
Mm-hmm. The DNA laboratory was able to successfully get a full female DNA profile.
This is super freaking cool. So they need some more evidence, and they're thinking about these sheets. And they look at the picture of Jason's room, and they're like, how do we determine that these red sheets with these stripes are the same red sheets that the body was wrapped in? And now this is one of two, but this is K-Money wheelhouse. I mean, this is what's popping off in the cave all day long, stuff like this.
This is Photoshop. They use straight up Photoshop, and that's your wheelhouse for sure.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is I've had Photoshop open on my computer since 2003. It's never really been closed. And I know I've heard of Vanishing Point. It's also the name of a great movie. I've never used it, but I love the little walkthrough they do here. So they do like, it's so you can make a 3D space out of a 2D image. Mm-hmm. And so they lay down this grid on it. And so they go, all right, what's the thing in the image that we absolutely know the size of? I know, Dr. Pepper can. Cool. So they're like, okay, these cans are 2.6 inches wide. So now using the vanishing point in Photoshop, they slide this can over closer to the camera, and now they can count how many stripes would be covered by that can. Mm-hmm. And how's this go down, Kate?
It's a direct match to the scraps they find in the suitcase. It's the same sheets.
They counted out 14 stripes can fit. And sure enough, they counted out 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 14. This was cool as hell. This is the stuff where I'm just like, yeah, love it.
With this measurement standard, Detective Mellis can compare the number of stripes woven into the sheets in the photograph to the number of stripes in the burnt red sheets from the suitcase.
So they couldn't find it in the bone marrow, but they do the thing, they bust it up and they're going to send it off to Quantico. Now here's what's crazy. It takes 1.5 years for those results to come back. So we've got to go off and do something else cool in the meantime. But this was proved point and point again in this episode of like, you know, it doesn't happen right away. Mm-hmm. Like we've got to send away for it or whatever. And this is a great example. So while they're waiting for the DNA results, hoping that they'll hit, they're looking at this junked up phone and they're like, I mean, surely we can't. Should we even bother with this? Mm-hmm. And what do they do with this phone, Kate? What do they do with it?
They send it to Quantico also, and they are able to pull everything from this phone. Everything.
7 gigs worth of information from this friggin', and he was like, it was just a bunch of binary ones and zeros or whatever. Yeah. I was like, keep talking. But
when they peeled it apart, all the chips and stuff had not been touched. They're in the lower part of this phone, not burned, and all the information is there. And they send it back to the police, and they hand it over to their forensics guy, and
But they called the detective, which was wild,
yeah.
Right? This guy looked like a tech guy. He had a ponytail and is very timid and stuff. But he gets to go around saying, hi, I'm Detective so-and-so, huh?
I don't know how I feel about that.
So I then went to one of my partners in our digital forensics computer unit, Detective Sobchak.
He's the guy who's looking at text messages and counting how many there were.
True, but he does the extra digging. Well, he does his job, but he does find he looks at a file name and is like, file names shouldn't end like that. What's up with this file right here? So he does a little bit. So now we finally get into this phone, and this is the treasure trove. There's all sorts of good stuff in here. For one, they find this audio file, and it has a timestamp and everything, and it says like 1:05 p.m. or something.
On the day that Jamie went missing.
And so and it was it was around 1 p.m. and stuff. And so they play this message, and they hear this voice who they're like, well, that's David Haggard. They recognize his voice straight away. And he starts saying stuff about how, well, you better clean up my pad or like never come back. Like, I'm mad at you guys.
And if you or him or anybody even thinks of coming near me again, I will put a restraining order against all of you. And make sure you clean up my house before you leave.
And it's like, wait a minute.
We know that.
We've heard this before.
That's what that text message said. Verbatim.
Yes. Now, this was the sealer for me, Kate. We actually hear this dumb mother's voice. And he had, because he's so lazy, okay, he had done voice to text. So that we hear the voice of the guy, the killer guy, saying this text that everyone else 2 years ago was saying, this is not like Jamie. Jamie did not send this. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, here's your proof. Here's the idiot reading it out loud to the computer to type it for him.
The words he's speaking are virtually an exact duplicate to these texts that were sent to Jamie's friends after we thought she was killed.
We've never covered this. Now, I mentioned it in a Cold Open in season 1 because it was on like the new Forensic Files reboot show, where the dum-dum was searching for like how to clean a body, how to get rid of DNA from a boat and stuff. And that's hilarious. And that's why I love this so much, is because it's like, dude, if you had typed it, you'd have been in the clear, but you just had to do your little voice to text, didn't you?
Well,
didn't you?
It makes me think that maybe he doesn't know how to spell, so that all of his texts might be voice to text. That just might be how he texts, because he's dumb.
Even on a stolen phone, even on Jamie's, because it came from Jamie's phone. This friggin' guy.
Mm-hmm.
I loved this so much. How great was this, Kate?
It was great. Almost as great as what they found next. He finds a picture on the phone that is clearly an accidental selfie of David when he's doing this voice to text, because it's time-stamped like the same time, which means he's so dumb that he accidentally took a photo of himself while trying to voice to text.
Yeah, or it was when he was, because they talk about how he installed some sort of like what's it called? A virus or whatever.
Like spyware.
Spyware, so he could see what buttons are being pressed. Did he do that right then and there, or had he done that on another day?
I feel like with the way we heard Jamie telling Chris about how scary David is and how controlling.
David came in and choked me. He was on top of me on the bed. He almost killed me.
I feel like he had installed this a while ago and was constantly keeping tabs on her, tracking her, monitoring who she's talking to, like just psycho stuff, which I don't understand why a brother would feel like they need to do that to their sister.
That's what I'm weirded out here.
Because
there's something going on here.
He didn't do it to his girlfriend.
No, you're right.
Do you think what I think?
I do.
And did you think that watching it?
What, that he wanted to bone his half-sister?
That there was weird stuff going on between them.
Oh, I think maybe he wanted there to be weird stuff. I'm not ready to put that on Jamie, like to say that they did mess around.
If we remember what the other sisters said, that they were always together, and if you called one, you'd get the other, and that they were always going out to eat. They were never apart.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's weird when he has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then the domestic violence thing makes even more sense, because it's like, oh, they were like okay.
This is wrong.
What was so great about this selfie is, one, it was the most hideous.
He's the most disgusting man.
I mean, the last name fit here. He looked pretty haggard, did he not?
He did. With his teeth all like, meh.
Yes. It is a terrible picture. And then to add insult to injury, Mr. Photoshop Detective goes, give me that. I'm taking this back in. Uh-oh, let me go over to curves and levels. Whoop! Turn up that brightness on the background. All of a sudden, he knows where this picture's taken. So he's in there going, that's the roof of the murder house. And you know how I know? I'm counting those bars. dark, light, dark, light, dark. Nailed him.
But if you made some basic adjustments in an imaging program, you could see that the background of the photo was actually the ceiling of a home.
Yes. However, it was cool, the forensics involved with that, but it's not really necessary.
Why not?
It doesn't matter if he's in that living room or not.
Sure it does. I mean, that's literally, that was 2 minutes. That picture was taken 2 minutes from when he sent those fake texts.
Uh-huh.
So that tells us that he's at the last place that Jamie was seen at the time of the last time she was seen. You know what I'm saying?
Did he claim that he wasn't at the house?
Well, I don't know about that. I feel like their argument is he can't make that now. He can't say that he wasn't there because we've got this nifty roof counting thing or ceiling counting thing.
Because to me, I was like, well, who cares? That's his house. Of course he's in his house.
I think it had to do with just the timing of when all the stuff went down at that time. So clearly we're thinking he got pissed at his half-sister that he's in love with. Kills her.
Uh-huh.
And he's still pissed. Why is he firing off these texts about, like, clean up after yourselves? Why is he doing this? What's the point of that?
I don't know. I guess maybe he made a mess when he killed her and was giving himself an out so he could, like, clean it up. And then it would be like, well, she told me to clean.
I'll bet that's it. When he sent those texts, he goes, this is good, because then if I get busted, which I won't get busted because I'm very smart. If I did, I could go, well, you could see she was pissed. I mean, that's why it smells like bleach inside, because she was so pissed and had to clean.
Right.
That's probably it.
But
he thought he was so smooth. He was like, I got this.
There was no blood.
No?
So I guess he wouldn't have used bleach anyway, but he probably just like washing the sheets, which we now know he took the sheets. And
yeah,
maybe he said he like threw them away because he spilled on them or something. I don't know what he told Jason, why Jason's sheets are gone.
Yeah, but they didn't confirm that for us, though. And that's another thing I wanted. I get that they're saying these sheets are connected, but are Jason's sheets empty at the house?
Right.
Like, they didn't confirm that for us.
And did they ask Jason, like, when you got back from being in jail, were your sheets gone?
Yeah, none of that was connected. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Jason's the only one who had those sheets. So was this the killer, David? Was this trying again to pin this on Jason? Like, Jason took the heat when I beat up my sister. Now I'm going to pin this murder on him because I'm going to use his sheets from his bed.
Totally.
To wrap the body in.
Even though he's not here.
Yeah. Idiot. This guy's so dumb, and I hate his dumb face. You know who he looked like? Especially in one of the pictures we see of him, and I got a screenshot for you, Kate. Remember the ugly British guy in Love Actually who goes to America so that hot chicks will sleep with him?
Colin.
Frizzle. What?
Colin Frizzle.
Boom. I just sent you a still
yeah.
from the clip of Colin. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. David's heavier with like really bad teeth.
Yeah.
But similar in the eyes and the coloring and
that's
the
what
dumbness.
I was thinking. Something to do with the eyes and the lines around the face and whatnot.
You're not at all impressed that I knew the character's name in Love Actually?
No, I should have been, though.
What do you call that?
Bottle.
Bottle. What about this?
Straw.
Straw. What about this?
Table.
Table.
Oh, also, the way that David talked in those messages that he recorded.
And if you or him or anybody even thinks of coming near me again, I will put a restraining order against all of you.
He sounded like a Kyle Mooney character. Does that make sense? What do you think, Kate? When he was like...
It makes sense.
He goes, clean up my house before you leave. Clean up my house before you leave. I can't do it, but I'm going to do a clip where he's just being like an angry bro or something. And I was like, this fucking guy.
Rigo Berto's is one of my favorite restaurants. But why don't they do the red salsa anymore? I had the chance to sit down with Carla Munez, who works here, and see why they stopped doing it.
Anyway, that was so good. So this dude goes to trial, and it sounds like we've got all the stuff we need, right? I mean... I don't think the jury needed to deliberate for 3 friggin' days.
But they did.
How about this?
That was crazy. Maybe they also were like, but wait a minute. Why didn't Jason ever deny beating her up? Why didn't Jason tell us about his sheets? Where's Jason?
Yeah, can we talk to Jason one more time? We're worried about Jason.
Yeah.
That's a great call. But luckily they come back guilty. And it was for second degree and they were hoping you'd get the full 22 years. He only got 15.
It's with second degree. I mean, you're lucky you're not getting like time served.
I know. That's what worried me. The further we get, like I'm forever holding my breath in the last act of crime shows when they start talking about how long the trial was taking and stuff. I'm like, if you guys say the D word, deal, I'm gonna be so mad at you guys.
I'm gonna throw something.
Yes. And sometimes it happens, but I don't know, 15 years, that sucks, but I don't know. What an idiot. I hope that guy knows how dumb he is. And I think it's time for those lists, Kate. What do you say?
Kate's unnamed list. I have one item right off the top. They were talking puzzle pieces.
They sure were in that cold open tease. You swooped it, Kate. Yep.
And now that that's back on my list.
Boom.
It's
pretty good.
All pieces of a forensic jigsaw puzzle.
But that's it.
On to Kurt's Kick-Ass List.
Kick-Ass list.
You know, it's not like on TV. All right, things take a while. Happened in this episode at least once.
This isn't CSI.
Unfortunately, it's not like TV. It's not something that's really easy that happens quickly.
And you know what? They had good proof here because shit was taking like 10 months to come back. I mean, that sucked. Also, femur bone.
This is just a model of a femur. It's the longest bone in the body.
Oh, okay.
Big time
I was like,
burbs.
what bone?
Big time burbs. Boom, right there.
A femur just happens to be a human thigh bone.
No smoking gun. Now, having a smoking gun and talking about it is on my list. But just by saying smoking gun, welcome. Okay?
I think it counts.
There was no particular smoking gun.
Not only that, I'm adding, it didn't happen in this one, but just to remind myself in the edit that when this does happen, officially on my list now is when cops say, you know what I think his problem was? He thought he was smarter than us. He thought he was the smartest person in the room, and like he wasn't. That's on my list, Kate.
Oh, yeah.
That happens all the time. Okay, emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Where?
Detective Ponytail. He said installing it instead of installing it.
I didn't catch that.
Boom.
Installing.
There's actually logs on the phone of somebody downloading the application and installing it.
All right, so that's it. And we are now at the end of another excellent episode of True Crime Cleanup on ILH.
Jason. What's going on, man? What's going on, Jason? We want answers.
Yep, Jason. Yeah, Jason, reach out. I mean, I hope you're not doing time for somebody else right now.
Yeah, I'm like, what else is he taking the fall for?
Who knows? But he sounds like a good sucker to have around. He kind of reminds me of Spencer. Remember the classic sucker, Spencer?
Oh, Spencer.
Anyway, Spence, call back. All right, we'll see what's coming up next week. I think we might be going to the swamps. We might have to go to the swamps.
Okay,
So,
let's go to the swamps.
Get ready for that. Some murder in the swamps. Swamp murders! And on that note, I'm Kurt Money.
I'm Kateline.